Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, I'm coming through nice and clear. Joining you from always reliable hotel. Good videos looking good. Awesome. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let's just check the feed here. All right, we're looking good. We're looking good. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so Bitcoin continuing to move down to lower levels, kind of getting to that part where people are starting to get concerned. Whenever the market gets concerned, what's the first thing that everybody wants to talk about? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bear market? Are we in a bear market? Was that it? Was that the top? Double top in Bitcoin? We're going down to 65K. Whatever the case may be, the point of today's show is to kind of talk you back off the edge. I really don't think that this is a bear market. I actually think that we have quite a lot of bull market left in this market cycle. We'll get into the nitty gritty of the details as to why I think that is. But the most important and biggest thing for me, as I've mentioned on this show countless times, I trade sentiment, and we haven't had peak euphoria. Every single market cycle, the bear market comes as a result of new people who don't understand Bitcoin buying something that they don't understand. And the vast majority of the market as it stands right now understands Bitcoin. So it's not until Bitcoin starts to get to 250, 300, 400, $500,000 that people who are just like, well, I don't get it, but I got to buy it. I don't understand. Until that FOMO kicks in and the late stage euphoria cycle occurs, you don't have the catalyst for a bear market, because it's the weak-handed paper selling people who don't actually understand what it is they're holding that inevitably cause the bear market. Let's get into it. Let's take a look. We'll start things off here on the daily chart, or sorry, we'll start things off here on the 4-hour chart. And here's the move that we're looking at right now. Now, we're about to print a green diamond. So for those who are not hooked up on the alphanumerics indicator, the green diamonds have been extremely, extremely powerful. So these last green diamonds here resulted in our most recent all-time high, about a 10% move off of the green diamond. This green diamond was just a magic green diamond. We got 24% off of that green diamond. This one back here, the green diamonds represent oversold conditions, by the way. Another 10% move on that green diamond. The green diamonds in the red wave we ignore. You get the point. You get the picture. So we're back inside of this trading range, which, is not ideal. It's not ideal. I would have rather seen continuation of the breakout. I would have rather have seen movement as the market saw that big signal. Hey, new all-time high. It's time to reprice. It's time to go into that impulse phase where Bitcoin leaves this consolidation range and goes to the next range higher, which I think will be somewhere around $150,000. So seeing it come back for the bears, because what it means is we need to break out again, and we need to break out and consolidate above certain key levels that we're currently sitting below. But we do have that. We're kind of, for those looking to take a position in Bitcoin, is I would actually be looking on the 15-minute time frame, and I'm going to start watching for some divergence. I think that the divergences are going to begin. Some connect. I think that divergence is going to happen somewhere around there. So maybe we get a move down. We start to put in. But let's just quickly go over to the daily chart. Let me know how I'm coming through. Am I um, still live here, ladies and gentlemen? And we're going to turn metrics off, and we're going to turn on the 200 simple moving average. This, traditionally speaking, is kind of your bull market, bear market indicator. As long as we are above the 200, we're bullish. As long as we are below the 200, we're bearish. And when we zoom out and take a look at how that has afforded us clarity in the past, you can see that, when you're in that strong bull market, you just stay above it. You just stay above it. That's the 2021 cycle where we stayed above it. We got below it. You can come below it. You're looking for the bearish retest to get a rejection before the bear market actually kicks off. So let's take a look at the 2017 cycle. That's kind of a great place to start here. So during the 2017 cycle, obviously it was a lot stronger. Bitcoin matures. There's going to be more volatility. There's a lot now that traditional finance is in. They can do a lot of stuff with hedging and controlling the yield. MicroStrategy is doing that with MSTY, selling options and covered calls and blah 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 blah. There's a lot more sophistication that's happening with Bitcoin now as opposed to what was happening in 2017, where it was just, are you going to buy or are you going to sell? So we were holding on top of that for basically the entirety of the bull market here in 2017. Wicked below it, bounced off, it got back below it, bearish test. The bearish test is really the important piece here. As soon as we got the bearish test under the 200, boom, bear market ensued, and it was a multi-year bear market from that point forwards. Moving right along here, below, got back on top, got below again. The bearish test sent us right back down. Like that was the moment. Boom, sent right down there. And yeah, we're still above the 200. We're above the 200. We've dipped below it, but no bearish test. We're allowed to dip below it. No bearish test. It's looking fine. So as long as we can stay above 100K, which is a beautiful, nice psychological number to keep in mind, as long as we can keep above that psychological 200 $100,000 level, the bull market continues. The bull market will continue. Let's take a look at some of the chat here. Hey, what's going on, Lisa? Good to see you in the chat. DaVinci 21, what's going on? Do you think we will go down to 110 and back to 121 before the correction in September, just like in August 2020? It's scary how close it's playing out. It's difficult enough to pick one direction. So when I see people, first of all, nobody knows what's going to happen. That's not what trading is. You just got to pick a side. Where is your bias? Where does your bias lie? With me, the bias lies bullish. Why? Because we're above the 200. Alpha numerics is green. The moving averages are still in bullish alignment. Every Bitcoin just had an all-time high. The ETF inflows are bullish. The TVL in DeFi is increasing. So when I look at all the technical and fundamental factors, I draw the conclusion that I'm bullish. So I'm not going to try and make predictions on, we'll reach this price, then we'll reach this price, then we'll head to this price. I don't care. I'm just looking for long opportunities. That's it. When we fall down, when the price moves down, the only thing I'm focused on is, okay, where's the next entry? Where's the next entry? I'm not shorting. I'm not focusing on downside, trying to capitalize on the downside. I make that switch when I think that we're in a bear market. So that's when alpha numerics flips red. We're below the 200. Moving averages are in bearish alignment. Once all of those things happen, well, now every pump, every time we move up, the only thing I'm focused on is where's the downside? Where's the entry for a short? So I caution against anybody that says, okay, we're going to go to this price, then we're going to bounce to this price, then we're going to head to this price. Dude, it's hard enough to just say, we're going to drop to this price or we're going to pump to this price. when someone says we're going to go to this price, then this price, I usually generally just dismiss it. I don't think that, not to say that fractals don't play out. It's just, it doesn't do anything for my trading. It's not going to help my trading at all. Like creating anchoring biases in the market where you anticipate to take action at certain levels. It could work. It could work once. It could work twice. But every time that it works, you gain confidence. And that's kind of like you're setting yourself up for a trap, because let's say it works 2 times in a row. Well, on the third time, let's say, I think we're going to drop down to 110. Okay, cool. So then you long at 110. It works. Woo, I'm a genius. Then it goes up to 121. What did you say? Yeah, 121, and then you short, and then it works. Great, fantastic. Wow, you're a genius. Then it goes down to your next target, and you have so much confidence from the first and the second one working, which are completely coincidental, by the way. You don't have the ability to predict what these monkeys are going to do. All these markets all these green candles it's just monkeys buying and selling bananas. It's completely random. We pretend like we can predict the future with looking at these candles, but you can't. You manage your portfolio through risk management. So you go into that third entry and you go really hard. You pile on the leverage and it doesn't work. It doesn't work that third time, and boom, your account's liquidated because you gained all that confidence. Just go to the market every single day and have the same strategy, the same couple of setups that you look at, and apply the same amount of risk to each of them, and just be methodical. This market's not going anywhere. If you plan to be a professional trader, well, it's a career change. You're going to do this for the rest of your career. So don't try and force things. Don't try to predict too much. Nobody has a crystal ball. It's all about money management, money management, money management, money management. BTC Blab saying the bear market is here. Oh, no. Well, some of us do have a crystal ball. Let's take a look at some fundamentals. So here we are looking at spot Bitcoin ETF flows. You have the 0 line right here, and you have all of the lines that are above, which represent an inflow, and all of the lines below, which represent an outflow. What do you see? I'll tell you what I see. I see a shit ton of inflows. I see a shit ton of people buying Bitcoin, and I don't see anybody selling Bitcoin. The inflows are like 80% more than the outflows. There is way more Bitcoin being purchased than is being sold. There is way more demand for Bitcoin than there is supply. So that's something to take into consideration. Before we move into kind of the DeFi stuff, I want to remind you guys to check out the BitGet trading competition. I'm still bullish. I'm still trading alts. I'm still positioned for the altcoin season that I think is going to play out. Nobody's going to believe me when I say that the market's bullish and that altcoins are doing well until price goes up. But if you are interested in entering into this competition, you can enter shorting as well. If you want to short this market and walk away with the grand prize of 5,000 Tether, feel free to do so. $500 deposited into your BitGet account makes you eligible to win the $5,000 top prize. 83 days left in the competition. Scan this QR code. Scan this QR code popping up, or check out the links down in the description to get entry into this competition. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. So far, BitGet uses off the tongue, doesn't it? Is in the lead with 127% ROI on the portfolio. Just absolutely murdering. Looking really great with the next with second place at 61%, third place at 36%. Doesn't mean that at the end of the 83 days, not counting it, at the end of 83 days, counting spot and futures. Okay. We can't update spot in real time. We have to just do it as a snapshot at the end of the competition. So at the end of the competition, we will have the rankings for spot. So if you are a spot trader, just pay attention to what's going on with the futures traders. If you're up 127% on the futures traders with your spot, well, you're probably in first place. So do keep that in mind, that spot traders are being counted. It's just we can't actually take 8 days. Get into kind of the DeFi stuff. So cumulative inflows are increasing for Ethereum. This is leading into what I believe is occurring as that rotation into altcoins is taking place. I think Bitcoin is going to break out to new highs. I think it's going to go to 150, 250, 350, 450,000 dollars. And I think Ethereum is going to go to $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a coin this cycle. And in that context, in that market environment, you're going to see just altcoin season like we always see. You'll get that 3 to 6 months of altcoins going absolutely bananas, batshit crazy. Let me go to my larger screen here. And this is what we're looking at. So this is the cumulative inflows of Bitcoin. You can see that that orange line is just up and to the right. More and more Bitcoin being bought, not much Bitcoin being sold. Demand higher than supply. And now this gray line down here, Ethereum is really starting to catch up. So Ethereum inflows are doing huge. Like what is this? So in the last 24 hours here, Ethereum's inflows nearly tripled the inflows of IBIT, of Bitcoin. The market is bullish. The market is ready. And when we take a look at DeFi total value locked, meaning coins and assets that are being staked in DeFi protocols, we're at the same levels. Look at this, TVL at 154 billion, the 54 billion, 2021. No, sorry, 2022, March of 2022. We are at new highs. But the beautiful thing about this is there's a very big difference to what was going on here, because this was DeFi summer. This was full-blown euphoria. The market is silent, guys. The market is so quiet. Nobody cares. And that is perfect. That means that retail is not here. Your aunt and your grandma aren't asking you how to buy doggy coin. We have so much more upside because this is stealth, man. Like nobody is talking about DeFi. Who's talking about DeFi? Nobody. We are at the highest levels in TVL in years, and nobody is talking about DeFi. If you think the bear market is in, I mean, I don't know what to show you. Really, you're just a bear. You're just a bear, and it's a bear for no reason. I really don't know what to tell you at this point. The other fundamental driver that is really important to take note of here is the Genius Act. Guys, the US government is getting ready to inject so much capital in the form of stablecoins, a crypto native asset. They are planning stablecoin growth as much as 75 billion following the passage of the Genius Act, according to Bank of America. The banks are going to be able to handle stablecoins. They're going to be able to issue stablecoins. There's going to be so much capital injection into this market. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. The sentiment in this market, when I talk about $2.2 million Bitcoin, or I talk about $1.2 million Bitcoin, people roll their eyes and they're like, yeah, okay, cool. What the fuck are you smoking? Like, that's never going to happen. To which I say never. I mean, is that the highest probability to happen this cycle? No, it's not the highest probability. But if you think that it's impossible, you really need to go hit the books. It's not impossible. It is not impossible for Bitcoin to be at over $1 million a coin this cycle. I know it seems crazy, But crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened. And we have smart money in, man. Like, you think that Wall Street is here for just a 2 or 3x on their money? Really? You think that all of this legislation and bullshit and shenanigans that the policymakers are putting into place, you think that that's all just for fun? You think that's for a 2 or a 3x? Really? Dude, they're here to fucking rake it in. They are here to rake it in. We're not talking 2 or 3x. We're talking 20, 30x, 10x in Bitcoin. Easy. 20x, maybe. I know it sounds crazy, and especially on days like this, it's very easy to dismiss someone like me, and I get it. Okay, I understand. It's hard to comprehend these levels, but if you've been in the market as long as I have, this is my third complete crypto cycle. My third complete cycle. I've seen it all. And I just keep seeing the same things from a sentiment point of view. I keep hearing the same narratives. I keep hearing the same, limiting beliefs. When we were at 10K, or sorry, when we were at $2,000, nobody, if you said we were going to $20,000, you were a retard. You were an idiot. And then same thing when we were down at, what was that bear? That was 15K. And you said we were going to 100K when we were at 15K. You're a retard. You're an idiot. When we were down here at 6K, you were talking, like, the point I'm trying to make is when you're in the moment, the crazy price objectives, price projections are just that. They just seem crazy. But then they get closer, and then they get closer, and then they get closer, and then they get closer. And then all of a sudden they're not so crazy. So I've seen some crazy shit in this market, and I'm not there's not a shred of me that believes that $1 million Bitcoin this cycle is impossible. It's not impossible. All right, rant over. Let's take a look. All right, so just let's check in with the altcoins real quick. Actually, before we take a look at the portfolios, drop your tickers in the chat. We'll go ahead and take a look at a few tickers here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So this is another one. Let's turn this on the weekly. Bitcoin dominance. We're in a parallel channel that has finally broken to the downside with a high time frame close, a weekly close out of the channel. Now, what we need to watch out for. Let's turn alpha metrics off. This is really loud. What we need to watch out for is a recovery back into the channel. So you see, we closed a weekly candle outside, and then the following week, we were right back where we were, came back in, did a bullish retest, and Bitcoin continued to be the dominating asset. I don't think that that's going to happen this time, because when we look at the daily, we have this kind of bearish structure on the smaller time frames. Let's actually go to the 4-hour. You can see we fell out, got a bearish test, rejection, new lows. It's a very different structure from what we saw the last time, where it was fell out, came in with a higher low, higher high, higher low structure back inside of the channel. Here on the smaller time frames, lower low, lower high, lower low structure out of the channel. It's different. But we'll go to those high time frame closes for confirmation. We got our first confirmation where the weekly closed outside of it. Definitive, 100% outside close. Big, 2% down in dominance close. If this next candle closes red, it's full blown. It's full blown alt season. Full blown alt season. Let's take a look at ETH BTC. We finally got above. Alphanumetrics just makes it really hard to communicate ideas sometimes. We finally got above this multi-year downtrend. Multi-year downtrend. Closed above it. It's go time. This is a break. This is a breakout. And people are bearish. It is what it is. I mean, it's the market psychology. People are just way too zoomed in. Like, when in doubt, zoom out. Seriously, when we're in a bull market and all the fundamentals are aligning and all the politicians and lobbyists and bullshit Wall Street enthusiasts are positioning, when smart money's getting ready and you're sitting there being like, we're in a bear market. I don't know, man. Some people just hate making money. Some people are allergic to money. We're just getting started here. Let's take a look at the portfolio. Matt's killing it. Matt wasn't able to make it here today. No worries, he'll get on the next one. But yeah, Matt's portfolio is doing better than anything. So just for context, when we entered into the trading competition, we entered 5,000. I got $5,000. He got $5,000, and then we put $5,000 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down. Total, it's down 3% overall. Matt is still killing it. He's up 8.6% in the portfolio. He chose higher cap coins. Me, the degen risk on dude, went a little bit more degen, and I'm down. So I'm down basically what he's up. But not to worry. I'm thinking that, with what's going on, with what is just around the corner here with Bitcoin dominance, the bull market is just getting started. How are you approaching Track? Do you think the new token will lead to a sell-off when all the stake tokens unlocked? I don't know that it will. So it's a very good question. So we will talk about Track. I haven't been talking about Track very often because it's just a shitty chart. Like it's disgusting. It's a terrible chart. Like it's not worth talking about. But we'll take a look at Track. And the reason we'll take a look at Track is because there is the migration. It's finally taking place at the end of this month. You will have needed to stake your Track so that you can get the new token TNK, which stands for Track Network, which is going to be the native token for the new Bitcoin Layer 1 Bitcoin smart contract platform. So generally speaking, with these buy the rumor, sell the news events, it's exactly that. You buy the rumor, you sell the news. Do you see buy the rumor here? I don't. There's no buy the rumor going on here. This is absolute dead ghost, filth, pile of dog shit, just absolute atrocious price action down in the depths of the bear. There's no buy the rumor happening here. So if there's no buy the rumor, why would you think there's sell the news? I'll tell you what the news really is. The BRC20 version of Track is a 21 million coin supply. With the new Track, let's just quickly open up a new tab here. Any of the Track that does not get staked okay. Now, as it stands right, you really going to make me connect? Why aren't you showing how much? There we go. 8 million. 40%. So Track is essentially going to get a halving. It's probably going to end up somewhere around 50% or less. So not only do I think it's not going to be a sell the news event, I think it's going to be a bullish catalyst because Track just got a 50% supply haircut. Massive burning event. That's going to create a narrative where, Track will need to be, TNK, the TNK token will need to be repriced. So I think it's going to be a bullish catalyst. Daniel, please tell me my node monkeys and ordinal something biz won't die. All right. Won't die. Doesn't matter. Overall supply. I'm not looking at the micro. I'm looking at the macro here. Sonic. Yeah, let's take a look at Sonic. Sonic just doing its thing. I think it's a good entry. I think that this is a good place to be. Yeah, double bottom, higher low. Next stop, higher high at 40 cents, 45 cents. Then a higher low, and then moon time. Nobody's talking about Sonic. The hype has fizzled out. but I think Sonic's a good one, and it'll move on to higher levels. Google email account is saying, I don't think the bull run is going to be as big as 2021. I think that you are right for altcoins. I don't think it's going to be as big for altcoins. I think you're wrong for Bitcoin. Solana will be huge. Yeah, let's take a look at Solana. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of Bitcoin's largest bull markets um, in a long time. The alts are going to be one of the smaller, because let's just zoom out. Why do I not just make baseless claims here? Why do I think that? Well, the biggest altcoin season was the 2017 bull run, right? Where dominance went from 95% down to 35%, a 63% reduction in Bitcoin dominance. Massive. What do we got? We have a high peak to trough of 46%, from 73% dominance down to 39% dominance. And there was 10 altcoins to choose from. Okay. Now we look at today, we have 65% dominance to probably somewhere around 42% dominance when I think this thing concludes. That's a 35% reduction in overall Bitcoin dominance. And you have 10 million coins to choose from. No joke. So not only do you have less capital injection. So I think the big winners this cycle are going to be assets that get ETFs. So if XRP cap coins, and that theory is proving to be correct, as we can from what Matt's portfolio's performance is doing, it's doing incredibly well. Because there's just so many coins. There's just so many coins. It's a way to correct the focus of the market. If it has an ETF, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. So I would be looking at larger caps. I think Bitcoin's going to have one of its largest bull markets to date. I think that this bull market for Bitcoin is going to be larger than last bull market, and it'll destroy the theory of diminishing returns. I think that that's going to be a narrative that's destroyed this cycle. But I think you're right about the alts. I think alts are going to do probably their worst overall. But I mean, their worst overall is still crazy. So who cares? Is Sui going to do okay? Is Sui going to be okay? How's my Sui? Yeah, Sui's going to be fine. I think that's a big one. That's a big one. You got a lot of KOLs and shills on this one. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Once altcoin season is in full swing, it's going to rocket. I mean, this channel right now, or in this consolidation that we're looking at right here, it's just a pennant. Pennants are bullish. Symmetrical, triangle, bullish pennant, whatever you want to call it. It's a continuation pattern. We impulsed up, we consolidated, we're going to impulse out, lather, rinse, repeat. Sui is going to be at a higher price over the next few months. Not financial advice. All right. I think we're going to close things out there. So let's just do a quick little recap here on Bitcoin. I don't need the 200 SMA anymore. Let's go there. Yeah, it looks like we're already bouncing off the middle of this trend line, or the mean of this channel. It'll probably, it'll take a few hours. So this is the first 4-hour candle. I think over the next 24 hours, we will be forming a bottom around this range. We could extend down as low as maybe 114, something like that. Currently, we are sitting above this order block zone right here. This order block is holding as support. So we could see price stay anywhere from the price that it is right now at 115.6 down to 114.5, somewhere in that range, before you see a reversal. Go down to the 15-minute. The 15-minute is where you're going to see those divergences take place. Once the 15-minute divergences convert into 1 hour divergences, you can gain confidence. You can start to go long at that point. Overall, I mean, there's too much to point to that's just bullish. So if you guys disagree, hey, cool. Let me know. Right. I want to hear all the reasons why I'm wrong. Because a lot of people are calling for lower levels, but they're not really backing it up. Not with anything fundamental anyways. They can't really point to large amounts of selling that's provable. They can't really point to institutional counter trading. Like, I want to see some hard evidence, because I look at the technicals are up. I look at the fundamentals are up. So if there's something that I'm missing, I'm not just walking around with blinders on. If there's something that I'm missing, leave it down in the comments section down below, or better yet, come into the Discord, where we are sharing all of the alpha. So scan this QR code popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. Fill out the form, name what you want us to call you, and your email address. We'll send you a link to the Discord. That'll get you in. It's 100% free. Everything that we do is free. If anybody ever asks you for money, it is a scam. You don't ever have to pay for anything with us. So if somebody is reaching out for some sort of a product that we're selling, we're not selling any products. So just know that if anybody ever reaches out to you, it is 100% a scam. Everything that we do is for free, and it always will be free. And that's it. That's it, guys. If you are wanting to learn more, go into the Discord. Don't forget to join into the trading competition, or join into the Discord to ask questions about the trading competition. We're happy to help and assist in any way possible. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.